All right. Golly. Did you know?
All right.
Did
I
you
got a
know that
Godzilla in the fight, but he don't bite.
Did you know that they paved paradise?
What they do with it?
They put up a
Like
parking
what?
lot, actually.
That's fucked up.
You ever been to a parking lot?
That's fucked. No.
Really?
I-
Never.
yeah.
Not once.
No, I mean I just ride like a lot of bikes.
It happened after the Godzilla attack in Japan. Godzilla attacked so
Oh.
much that they were like, I guess we got to put up a parking lot now. So now all of Japan is just a parking lot.
Just
Tokyo
one big-
specifically, yeah.
Well, for what purpose though? Like
Oh,
why?
to park.
What? No, I got that, but if there's nothing, like if the entire city is just a parking lot, why are people even there? Like, what do they have to park
To
for? Like
park.
normally you park to like go to work or
Yeah, but
or
it's a
some
culture
event or-
thing. Parking is just like a fun activity there.
Real that tracks. Yeah. that
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
it's just that's
So
just
do
Japan
people
for
do people
you.
just like travel from like other Japan like Osaka and other Japanese cities just to go to Tokyo to park? Or
Yeah.
What's up with that? Damn.
Just a big old parking lot. Godzilla
Big-
attacked.
big,
He destroyed
rich
all the
parking
buildings and
culture,
stuff,
yeah.
and so they were just like, "We're going to park here now."
He also smoked a cigar, I think, didn't he?
No, you made that up.
No, I think that happened.
No, you made that up.
Can anyone prove me wrong though?
Anybody who
doubt it.
watches this movie,
Probably not though.
this is Godzilla 1980 and 5.
or is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, all right.
It's also
Cool.
Godzilla Returns, maybe? I can't
Return
remember.
of
Well,
Godzilla,
whatever it is,
possibly?
it's Godzilla looks like an idiot. That's the name of this movie. He looks so
Yeah,
stupid.
he looks real dumb. He's a big dummy.
I hope you guys can
also pretty
see
cool.
if you're watching
also
this.
He also looks kind of cool. Like
He
we're
looks
gonna make
cool in
him
some
out to
shots.
be dumb,
Yeah.
but he does look pretty cool. The
Yeah. No,
overall
we're gonna talk
design-
about how stupid he looks throughout this whole thing, but he's also kind of cool. He's not as cool as next week's
He's
Godzilla
no-
is gonna
yeah,
look.
He's no '90s, 2000s Godzilla. Late
'Cause that's a
90s, whatever
sick
that era
design.
is. Yeah.
The Millennium Era, I think, is what it's called,
Whatever.
because it happened at the turn of the
Right,
millennium.
Y2K, the computers
Right,
took over.
it's
They made
it's
Godzilla good.
Y2K edition.
Right. Well, the computers, they took over and they made Godzilla look good because they
Right.
had computer technology.
Right. They didn't have much. There's like one CGI scene in any of those movies, and it looks bad.
Right. But they had computer technology. The computers took over.
Right.
Y2K.
Orson Welles is in this movie, I think.
And or George Orwell.
George
One of
Orson
them,
Welles.
Right.
George
Orwell.
Son Wells. His
Oh,
son.
George or his son Wells.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it. This is Godzilla 1985 on this episode of Semi.
Or is it?
So Godzillan. He's Godzillan like a villain. 1980
Right, he is
villain.
a villain.
He is a villain in this one, actually. He's
Yeah,
they.
he doesn't fight any
This movie,
monsters.
it's like a return to
It's a classic Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
It's just Godzilla attacks.
Godzilla
but
versus the city.
Also, it's a Cold War movie because it
Yes.
came out in the 80s. Everything
This
that came
is-
out in the 80s had to be Cold War.
This is interesting because we were trying to think of like any famous requels, which is, if you don't know what a requel is, it's a reboot sequel that
right.
ignores.
What are
It's a
some
sequel to the
examples
first
of
one.
That I know Halloween did that.
Halloween, Alien, Terminator.
Right.
A lot of stuff has requeled itself. Godzilla.
There's been a few, yeah. But
Godzilla's
yeah,
done it like 8
Godzilla
times.
Invented it.
But
Right.
yeah, this is the first
They were
one
the
we can
original,
really
right?
think of.
Right.
But we don't know for sure that it was the first one. It's just the first one we can remember or think of.
Yeah.
Like I said, Alien did this. A Predator with Predators. This is
Predator did
also
that,
the
yeah.
only example I can think of a movie with its requel.
It's the only example I can think of a movie. I can't think of any other.
This is the only example I can think of, or the earliest example, rather, I can think of a requel using the same title as its first movie, because it also did that. Because it's
wasn't it the Halloween? Wasn't that just called Halloween?
well,
The
no, I
requel to
remember the
Halloween?
the earliest I
Oh,
can
the
think of.
earliest. Okay, I thought you said
Because it
only.
did that, right? Like this is like
Right.
Godzilla, and
Well, it
then
did
the
that,
sequel.
but also it was called Return of Godzilla, maybe.
Yes, but also I think the official title is Godzilla 1985.
Gotcha. Is it, or is it just the American release of it?
Dude, I don't know.
I mean,
If it's in
one
English,
version is called Godzilla, one's called Return of Godzilla, maybe.
if
I
it's in
don't know.
English, I can assume it was part of the American release. So who knows? Maybe it was released twice
Right,
under two
right.
different things.
Yeah, and
Point
Orson
being,
Welles was in it. He's American.
so last week we watched Astro Monster, I think, and so
Right, / Attack of Monster Zero.
Godzilla has this history, and most people even still today kind of think of
Well, it's
Godzilla
also
in this
her
way.
story.
Right? Maybe. Godzilla has this history of it's like, okay, so there's this one movie that's a social commentary, and it's still like a schlocky B movie, but it's a social
Well, it's the
commentary
50s,
on nuclear weaponry. Perfect. You
Right.
get this one. Now we're gonna release 8 more, and all
And
of
it's
these are
just
gonna
going
be
to
super corny,
schlock
Yes.
garbage.
corny,
monster
schlocky,
kaiju
whatever.
movies.
And
Yeah.
then,
It's great. It's fun. It's fine.
but then they take like a 10-year gap, and they decide, okay, here's what we're gonna
Did you
do.
ever look that up?
I did
confirm
not.
that
I'm
it
just
was a
gonna
10-year?
say. I'm just gonna say 10
we'll
years.
say that
10
it's
years
probably close
feels
enough.
fine.
Yeah.
That would give them like a 20-year original run and then a 10-year break.
Right.
And then we're gonna release a movie that's gonna make you take Godzilla seriously, and that's what this is supposed to be.
Yeah. It's not quite what I got from this movie.
Right.
But
And I don't know
that
if
was the attempt.
had I seen this in 1985, if I would feel differently.
I
Probably
mean, I'd
not.
say almost definitely I would, because I don't know, like I wouldn't have as much frame of reference, or maybe I would have more.
I don't know,
I
dude.
don't-
I don't even know what frame of
I don't
reference
know, I wasn't alive
means.
in the. Well, it's like a frame that you reference.
Right, maybe.
Like you see that frame over there? Boom, just reference that shit.
You have a frame?
Yeah, there's a photo of a clown feeding a baby pig. It was painted by my great grandfather.
But are
Bill
you
Valentine.
referencing it?
Yeah, just now. I'm talking about
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah.
That's a
I
frame
think
of reference.
I think the point of this movie was Godzilla's super silly. We're giving him a rest. We're giving him a break. Here, let's take him seriously.
Now let's make him serious and scary, but also he looks like a fucking idiot.
He does. He looks so stupid in this.
But he also looks kind
he
of
looks
cool.
cool
Like,
in some
he's-
scenes, but then he looks stupid.
I would say the overall design of him is cool.
See,
it is.
we're gonna
I think it's
disagree
an
here.
Overall good design. It's just a lot of the face looks really dumb, and a lot of the shots of the face look really dumb. But the overall suit design and just Gojira design, he's a cool looking, slimy little pus monster.
We disagree here because you think
Okay,
the
that's
overall design looks cool and sometimes he looks stupid. I think he looks
Right.
stupid and sometimes he looks cool.
Right. I just think, I don't know.
I
He's
like how
just-
slimy he looks.
He's real slimy. I mean,
think-
the costume is obviously much better. It's been, 30 years.
Well,
'Cause they've
and
been
if
using
you
the same
watch
costume for
the
30
if you
years.
watch the tail end of the original Heisei Godzilla, not Heisei, so Showa
Showa, yeah.
Showa Godzilla run, you can see how dumb he begins to look, and not just dumb, but like how poorly his
Well, the
costume
costume
starts
is
to
just-
look.
Yeah.
It's rotting. It's falling apart. I mean, it was 20
they've been
years.
they've been using the same costume for 20 years at that point.
And so they're like, okay, we got to remake it. And they bump up some of the special effects. The miniatures don't look any better than they did in the last movie, which came out 20 years before this one.
I'd say the city miniatures maybe look a little better.
Maybe.
not the miniatures themselves, but like the explosion stuff, like the
Yeah, the
actual
explosion stuff for
destruction of
sure.
it looks much better.
But
It's no Oppenheimer,
Godzilla,
but
or it's better than Oppenheimer, depending on who
maybe
you
some would
ask.
say.
No, some of the design looks worse. The costume looks better.
Maybe. I think I think it's just the face, though. Like
It is
it's
for
not even
sure just
it's
the
not even
face.
just the full face. The only things I have a major gripe with are the eyes and the mouth. And I guess his face is a little too slim, but I think that would work to its benefit if his eyes and mouth didn't look so goofy.
Well, and a face is majority eyes and mouth.
Yeah, fair point. But
I mean, there's not much else to work with other than eyes and mouth.
well, yeah, there's nose, which Godzilla doesn't have. But
He's got on this one. He's got kind of like a mohawk of like
yeah,
weird rocks on his head.
right.
God, this movie is dumb.
Yeah, so should we talk about the plot of this movie? What's the plot of this movie?
Yeah, you got like 10 minutes. Break it down for us, Daniel.
Oh, me? I'm doing it? Okay, so
Oh, I mean,
the
I can
Cold
do it,
War,
but I don't remember it, so-
1985.
It's the Cold War. That's the
um,
plot of this
starts-
movie. That's all you
it's
need
like
to
a
know.
fishing ship in Japan that gets attacked
FIP?
by Godzilla.
Maybe.
No. Probably not, no.
Was
But
that your
Godzilla
cat?
attacks
Or was
the
that a
ship.
ghost that just moved?
Maybe both. I don't see my cat. No, there she is.
Ah, it made noise. It's a
Yeah,
noise
she
making
does that
cat.
sometimes.
If you rub it enough, will it start vibrating?
Yeah, she's doing it right now, actually. But I think it's the nervous vibrating. She wants me to stop fucking with her. But there's a ship.
You know who else
it gets
has a
attacked
cat?
by Godzilla. No, I mean a lot of people.
Lots of people,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Godzilla, maybe.
is there a Godzilla cat monster?
Probably not.
Maybe though.
Maybe, though.
Who knows?
Lots of
It was
time.
Frankenstein.
I mean, these movies
so-
have been coming out for like 80 years at this point.
right.
There's a
At
good
least,
chance there was a
yeah.
cat in at least one of them.
There was Cats, the movie based on the musical.
Right, Idris Elba played Godzilla
had,
in that, I think.
No, I think it was just a cat, but there were buttholes in one version of it, and
Yeah,
then
but I think
no buttholes
Godzilla
in
as
another version.
well. Let's see.
I think it was just a cat.
See what happens when I search up Godzilla
I think
cat.
it was Idris Elba the cat. He said, "My name's Idris Elba. I'm a cat." I'm a cat. I'm
I
Idris
just
Elba."
found an AI generated image of a Godzilla cat, which is interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
Nothing.
I saw a shirt at a thrift store once that was a cat fighting Godzilla. That was pretty dope. I really thought about buying it, but I didn't. I think I bought a FUBU jacket instead. But so this fishing ship gets attacked by Godzilla, and also somehow a big giant sea lice or louse, like the country,
Right.
ends up on it.
Right.
I also
Laos, like
learned
the
while
people who
watching
move
this
to
that
Tennessee.
there are. I guess I don't know.
We got
Only
lots
been
of them.
once.
They got lots of them in Tennessee.
Right. You're not from Tennessee.
I'm the
You're
only
not
10 you see.
10
though.
I see.
Godzilla looks
So
stupid.
there's he looks dumb, but he attacks a ship. We don't really see it. It's like the opening scene. We see it's like a silhouette maybe, and then there's the roar. Then some guy is going out, and he goes to this boat, and he's like, "Oh man, this boat looks fucked up. I should go check it out." He gets attacked by the sea lice and stabs it, and then other guy chops it with an axe, and then they meet, they're friends, and there's some political stuff. They're like, "Oh yeah, Godzilla attacks a Russian submarine."
Yeah, it's like there's a Russian Godzilla is reemerging because of the Cold War. We come to find out.
Right. Yeah. But
And
they
so-
never really explain. They just kind of
No,
say it.
it's
and
more
we're
just like
okay.
It's something
sure.
like Godzilla's an act of nature, and he wants to help us keep from destroying each other or something.
Right.
Which is,
But,
like,
we
why
weren't really
he-
destroying each other. Like we weren't. The Cold War.
That's
wasn't
the
shit.
weird
Like
thing.
we didn't do anything in the Cold War.
I
Nothing
guess-
fucking
yeah, I
happened.
guess
like,
the
why not
implication
pop
is,
out
like-
in Vietnam? Pop out in
Right.
fucking Korea, dude. What are you
Right.
doing?
I guess the
Godzilla?
implication here is like in the middle of the Cold War, you would have
seemed like
expected
it was
the
like,
Cold
yeah, we
War to be the
could've,
deadliest war
right.
ever,
Right.
and it just
right.
wasn't. And so Godzilla's
Godzilla
trying
thought
to
it would
stop
be.
it.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't he want it? You know, Godzilla
birds?
loves
'cause of
nuclear
the
weapons.
But the birds,
Weapons?
though.
He
But the
likes
birds.
nuclear
But
birds.
He followed the bird. The bird is the word. Oh well, a bird, Papa is the word. Papa umama now. Papa umama, Papa umama, Papa umama, Papa umama.
now I'm a helicopter.
Yeah, but the bird is actually the word.
Yeah, Godzilla likes birds.
He follows them at least.
Yeah, we're not
We
there
never
yet,
really
but yeah,
hear
where
why,
are we?
but
You know,
well, he attacked the sub. It causes like political
Right.
panic because
America is,
well, the
Russia is like,
Soviets,
hey, America destroyed our ship. They're in cahoots with
right,
Japan. We're gonna nuke them.
right. But then Japan says no, it was Godzilla.
Right, and everybody just believes them.
Well, because Godzilla had attacked them before.
That's
If
true.
anyone would
Orson
know, it'd
Welles
be
reported on
them.
it.
Right, yeah. Raymond something or something Raymond. What was his name?
Raymond
Raymond
Shutt?
Burr.
Burr, yeah, because it
Close,
was like
yeah.
burr.
Right, he was
I'm cold.
cold.
Shut
Yeah,
the
well,
door because I'm
why he
cold.
right, that's why he grew the beard.
Right.
He's cold. He's a chilly
Keeps
little guy.
him warm. Yeah, that's why I grew a mustache.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Your mustache actually shows up well on camera.
It's coming
yeah.
in. Yeah, I've been putting avocado oil and tea tree oil in it, and
You should
my
try
whole general
rosemary
beard area.
oil.
I might. I think I have some rosemary oil and got a bunch of various essential
I've been putting it on
oil
my head to keep
tinctures.
myself from balding.
I put a little bit of the like after I do my face, I usually do it before a shower, and I'll just like slick the avocado tea tree tincture in my hair, and that's made it pretty tight.
You
I've been
think
having less
Godzilla does
dandruff.
that?
Well, he doesn't really have hair, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe that's why he's so slimy. He's just rolling around in avocado
He's
and tea
rolling
tree
around in
all the
oil.
time.
Olive
He's
oil.
rolling off of Molly. He's just rolling. he's just tripping balls off of beans.
So a lot of this movie is just political jargon.
There's a
And
lot
I don't
of
love
like
that.
various the first
first
half
half.
of this movie is very very boring. It's various either Japanese science political shit
Well, I mean, they're turning
talking
that
about
way.
birds. Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they just look straight at the camera and mew.
Sometimes
But
they
sometimes they go to the
want
doctor
to
and
go to
take
the
a picture
doctor
of their
so they can get a
insides
picture
to
of
see
your
what you look like on
insides.
the inside or
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever the
Uh,
words
but-
are. There's a song
but-
called "I'm Turning Japanese." Don't look it
Yeah,
up.
it's by the it's a solid song. It's all right. It's really fucking dumb. Kind of like this movie.
Kind of like this episode of the podcast. This episode of the
little bit,
podcast
yeah.
brought to you by
Brought to you by
YouTube,
Turning Japanese and also YouTube.
because this movie was
also-
on YouTube.
Yeah,
But also
Toho,
Tubi, because
I
it's always
guess.
brought to you by Tubi.
Well, always or not to be.
Right.
That is the
Tubi,
question.
call us. We will let you sponsor this podcast for free. Just we want it to
Right.
be official.
We
You don't
just-
have to
just
pay us
like-
any
just-
money.
No.
Just we want it to be official.
We just want you to just we just want to be able to say
We want to
officially
be
this
or
episode
not
brought...
to be.
Right. Well, that is the question.
Right. Call us. Call
The
us.
answer is
May surprise you.
Gojira. No, it's not that surprising.
So
It's
tune in
Gojira.
next week when we finish this episode of the podcast. Just kidding. I would never do that to the listening audience. I would.
That'd be funny though. Where
To be
are we?
or not
Okay,
to
yeah,
be?
a lot of political stuff.
Just
There's,
lots of it. The
um,
whole first half of the movie is so boring.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
like
think of anything. The only significant thing I can
is
remember
the sea louse.
Well, the sea louse, the birds. The birds.
Oh,
have
they say
payoff.
the bird thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even really
Japanese-
until like exactly halfway through. But
No, I feel like that was like it was like peppered through the
Hmm.
first half. Like they're like
maybe.
I don't really remember. I know there was a bunch of stuff of like the Japanese
was a
people
bunch of
doing
birds.
research on. Well, that's the word. They were doing
Right.
research on Godzilla. They were like, there was they used footage from the first movie.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cracked.
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, the
Orson
one
Welles was
professor.
there.
The one professor who figured out the bird thing, his parents died in the first
Right.
Godzilla attack, which was
30 years ago, your parents died in the Godzilla attack.
Right, that's what he says, yeah.
That's what he sounds like, too.
Yeah.
And then Willem Dafoe is there. He's one of the war generals.
He's not. It's some guy whose mouth He kind of smiles like Willem
Yeah,
Dafoe,
he
and
looks
that's
vaguely like Willem Dafoe.
Barely, vaguely, but
And then the
yeah.
other guy looks like Uncle Soprano.
Orson Welles. Oh yeah, Uncle Junior Soprano from The Sopranos. Yeah.
And then Orson Welles,
um,
who
and
legitimately
then
looks like
and
Orson
Zach.
Welles.
Orson Welles won that one straight up, and then there's also Zach Ward, the postal dude, because he has
Right.
ginger hair.
Right. He's just a red-haired man.
It's just a guy with red hair. Yeah. But yeah, that's the American side, which was probably added only for the American
I would
release.
have to imagine
I know.
so.
I mean, I know that the Orson Welles storyline in the first movie was only added for the American release, right?
Right. The Orson Welles thing, which he wasn't Orson
Yeah.
Welles in that movie. He was just
No.
generic reporter.
Steve Martin is the reporter's
Right.
name,
Steve
like
Martin,
like
they
the
added that whole
actor.
storyline for the American release and the dub, so that the whole
Right.
movie wasn't dubbed, basically. And then
Yeah.
it seems like they did the same thing here because this army general set never really interacts with anybody other than
No,
each
the
other
only Americans that ever interact with the Japanese and the Russians is there's
because they're
one.
turning.
They're turning. Well, they're rushing to the bathroom. They gotta because European.
Right, European. That's what
Um,
happens when you rush
but
into the
yeah, there's
bathroom because you're
well,
European.
there's the
You're
one American
Japanese. You're
guy.
japping the knees.
Yeah, you're turning Japanese, so shut the fuck up. But yeah, there's like one scene at like the UN or NATO or whatever the fuck it was at this point. It's like I don't think any of the American general like people were there. It was like one guy who looked Italian,
Yeah, and
but he was
and a
chill.
Russian guy with a
A
really
Russian
wispy
guy,
beard.
Russian guy with wispy beard, and Italian American who was not a good actor. Yeah,
Yeah, and then outside
that
of
was it.
that, there was no Godzilla stuff, and that's where this is where
Yeah.
the movie really began
And
to just lull.
then Godzilla attacks a nuclear power
Right,
plant,
and it
and
gets
it's good
really interesting.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie up to the point of the meeting, the big United Nations meeting, which is about 30, maybe 45 minutes into the movie,
Right.
is just so boring and nothing happens. And you're like, man, I just wish Godzilla would attack. And then finally you
Right.
get a Godzilla attack and it lasts like 3 minutes, but it's enough to tide you over for a little bit. The movie past that point, past the 30-minute mark, is really well paced. Up to the 30-minute mark is horribly paced.
Yeah, once Godzilla smokes the nuclear power plant,
Right.
it
We
gets
were
fun and
thinking
good.
it around that point. We were like, man, we made a mistake in choosing this to be the
Yeah,
Godzilla
no, I
movie
remember
we
you
watched.
said you were like, yeah, I feel like the whole like most of this movie other than the last like 20-30 minutes is just going to be this boring human plot or whatever and then it's going to be total destruction, which it kind of was.
It was, but they
It
put
just
in one
it
Godzilla
happened
fight, and I
it
was like,
happened
okay,
a little
cool.
sooner. Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I feel like
It
once
was about
Godzilla
45
attacked
minutes
there,
of Godzilla stuff.
yeah, once Godzilla attacked there, it was a pretty good balance of the human and Godzilla stuff. Like it would go, there was them like fighting Godzilla in the ocean, and then random boardroom general shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Then Godzilla attacking Tokyo, and then this homeless guy going into
I like the
a
homeless guy a
restaurant.
lot,
The
yeah.
homeless guy was fun. He got
He was
crushed
the
by
highlight of the
Godzilla.
movie. Yeah, he got crushed
He got
for sure.
he's dead.
I wonder if he
but
was also added for the American release.
I doubt it.
Given that he was dubbed, is that why you think maybe not?
Well,
And he
he's
interacted with other characters in the
Japanese.
movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he directly interacted with the two
I
main
wonder if
Japanese
Godzilla was added
characters.
for the American release.
Definitely, yeah. I don't think this was actually released in Japan at all.
This was actually the
an
first
American
legendary
exclusive.
Godzilla movie.
Right.
Toho had no involvement. This is actually Godzilla 1998.
Right.
Matthew
Broderick
Broderick is in
it.
this movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
he
the-
killed
he's the homeless
he
guy.
killed two women while drunk driving in Northern
Right.
Ireland.
Never forget.
Yeah, never forget.
Never forgore.
I forgot.
I
so
forgore
what
where we
happens?
are in the
Yeah.
discussion. Godzilla just attacked the nuclear power plant and started smoking weed.
Yeah, he smokes that nuke like a fucking bong. He just
He
huffs that
does
shit.
legitimately hit the nuclear power plant like
Yeah,
it's a bomb.
no, it's sick. It's cracked. And the whole like up before even before this happened, I think it started with the submarine scene. I really wanted him to smoke the submarine like a cigar. Then I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a torpedo that he smoked like it doesn't happen. It never happens. He doesn't
Never
smoke
happened.
anything like a
Well, it
cigar.
does.
Kinda.
Kind of.
What I
Way
wanted was
more
it
than I
sticking out of
expected when you said that
there.
as a
Yeah,
joke.
yeah. There was much more of him actually smoking. So he smokes the nuclear power plant. Um, then a lot of oh we haven't actually we've talked about the bird thing. We haven't actually explained it yet.
No.
So
Well,
they
can
they
you?
explain yes they explain that or they come to the conclusion that Godzilla follows the migration patterns of seabirds or something, or he reacts to the sounds that they
It's not
make.
just seabird. Isn't it just birds in general?
I think it was specifically seabirds.
Surds, then.
Well, absurd is the word.
Right. Maybe.
So the
Absurd might be the
Japanese.
word.
Well, this movie's absurd, but the Japanese government, along with professor parents were killed by Gojira 30 years ago.
Right. And Orson Welles.
They come. No, he's just kicking it with the Americans.
Right.
But
Well,
but
the Americans
one of
talk
the,
like they're part of the plan, even though they're really not.
right. They shoot a missile out of the sky. That's all they fucking do.
Right.
Or they shoot a nuke with a missile.
Which
Is a nuke a
seems like an
missile? I don't
added
know.
B subplot for sure.
Yeah, almost definitely. I wonder if any of the surely some of the Cold War stuff was in the Japanese version. Like it had to have been.
Well, maybe. I think anything that's dubbed, like all of the Soviet Union stuff,
Right.
probably. But I doubt like the nuke coming towards Japan towards the end of the movie was even close to part of it.
It might have had to be though, because that's how Godzilla like powered up again.
Oh,
He
you're
was,
right.
he was basically dead from the.
I wonder if the
ketamine.
nuke landed in the original version, and in the American version they were like,
maybe.
but actually,
Actually, the Americans stopped it.
we saved
We
the
beat
day.
the Soviets.
Dun,
We saved the
dun, dun,
Japanese.
dun, 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 dun.
We may have bombed them 40 years ago, but this time we saved them.
We wanted to protect them.
God
Bum,
bless
ba-dum,
America.
bum, ba,
Right,
ba,
and
da,
the
dum,
Indiana
dun, dun, dun,
Jones
dun, dun, dun,
slash
dun, 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 dun.
Batman Forever music plays.
Well, no, the Batman Forever is like the main title.
That's
This
the
was the
beginning,
Fleischer
yeah.
Superman theme.
Right, slash Indiana
Dun,
Jones
dun,
because
dun,
those are the
dun,
same
dun,
score.
dun.
Bam, 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 bam.
The main theme of
But
this movie
yeah,
is the
yeah.
theme from Batman Forever. The sub theme of this movie is the theme from Fleischer Superman slash Indiana
Slash Indiana Jones,
The music in this
yeah.
movie is horrible.
It's not great. There's like one scene with kind of a decent scoring, and it's just like
It's them walking
Asian
down the
brother.
stairs.
It's the Asian brother and sister walking down the stairs. That's it. Like
It
they're
makes
just-
me think, and we said this, I think, during the discussion. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I'm making that up. It very much makes me think this is a rescore, and this isn't the actual score to this movie. Like this is a
Could be.
fake American score to sound like
That'd be-
American action movie.
Oh yeah, maybe. Because it was very generic, just like
Yeah, and it's almost like they
specifically that, it was
hired.
very generic, like adventure wannabe Danny Elfman.
Yeah,
wannabe.
they hired somebody and they were like,
John
listen to this John Williams
shit.
score, listen to this
Right.
Fleischer Superman score, listen to this whatever, make a score for this movie, and so they rescored it. I don't know that that's
be.
true, but it feels accurate. From what I've seen, because I've seen a few clips from this that aren't the American release, the American dub, it feels much more... Because they recolor graded it for the American release. It feels much more serious kind of thing in the Japanese release, which is interesting.
Right.
Which this one feels like it takes
Strange,
itself
'cause it feel
seriously.
Like, yeah, this one feels like it's trying to be serious. It's just
But then there's a lot of stuff
silly
that
due to
doesn't.
circumstance.
Like the
Yeah.
big military man's glasses and Orson Welles and the music
Right.
and like it
Junior
is kind of
Soprano and
saturated.
Orson Welles are very silly.
Yeah, and
look
Godzilla's
goofy.
cross-eyed and he looks like an idiot.
He is cross. I don't know if we directly said that, but you can see it in the thumbnail. That's an unedited picture of
Yeah,
Godzilla in
and the
this
tongue
movie.
sticking out also.
That's all. That's also real. He's got a big tongue, and he laps up
No, no.
some fire or some nuclear power, like a puppy dog. He goes. Wow, it's buzzing like crazy, man. All right, you gotta stop, man.
Yeah, I'm turning it down.
Oh, you turned it out. Okay, that's what it was.
Dude,
I thought you were
dude,
just
dude,
holding your microphone again.
dude. Oh, I can.
No, you don't have to. No, it's okay.
They couldn't hear
So
it on the podcast. Let me
I
just.
can though.
Right, I can. You can't though. Anyway, this movie's almost over.
Basically,
It's just a
he attacks-
Godzilla rampage from here on out.
Yeah, at this point, they're fighting him on the ocean. They shoot him and blow him up, but it doesn't do shit. Then he goes to Tokyo and he fucking
Right.
smashes and destroys shit.
Tokyo.
There's the cyberpunk. Well, they paved it, turned it into a parking lot.
Right,
It used
that's
to be
right.
Paradise.
I forgot about that. I don't
but
live in Paradise actually.
isn't that like a core part of your religion?
Nah, Paradise.
Eternal paradise and whatnot.
Nah, parking lots.
Oh, they paved heaven, put up a parking lot.
Yeah, Jesus is actually super stoked about it. They needed some space for the cars.
Word.
Gabriel less happy, but he put up with it because Jesus was in support.
Well, it's God. I mean, what's he gonna do?
I mean,
Say
yeah,
no to
when,
God,
when,
right?
when Christ is in support of a decision, you just kind of have to go along with it. Because he's Christ.
So
Even if you don't agree.
Godzilla's fucking up Tokyo. There's a cyberpunk.
Oh, well, I mean, there is no Tokyo. It's a
Anti-Godzilla.
parking lot.
Well, at this point, there's still a little bit of
Right, I
Tokyo.
forgot. Godzilla messes up Tokyo. That's why they put the
There's
parking
there's
lot
a
down.
cyberpunk flying car thing that's very cool. I like it
It's
a
like the
lot.
one from Fantastic Four, 1994.
Right.
Slash Fantastic Four, the animated
Kinda, I don't
series.
think-
Which
was
is
there a
what? No, there was a flying car.
in
It's at the
94?
very end. They fly it only to see Doom.
I don't remember.
After they
that
get
at
their costume,
all.
yeah, they fly in the flying car. It's also in the animated series, which is what MF
I remember
Doom's
it- I
persona
remember it
is based
from
on.
the animated series, and I remember it from the
Silver
Surfer
Surfer,
one?
yeah,
that
which
one
we'll watch
had it.
eventually for the podcast. Maybe next
Sure,
sweep,
sure.
probably not.
Yeah,
I want to
doubt
get
it.
away from nerd stuff. I want to get to like some.
Right,
more,
I hate nerds. I want to go out and bash some nerds.
Right, and Godzilla feels too much like nerd stuff.
It's it's like nicher, nerdier stuff, which makes it even nerdier.
Right, which means it's
But,
gonna do
but
numbers.
I digress. For sure, yeah.
Or it won't.
We love nerds, actually. Please watch our podcast.
Yeah,
This
listen
is
to our
a nerd
podcast. It's called the
podcast.
Semi-Pro Film Show. Also, if we get enough viewers on this podcast slash listeners on this
if
podcast,
you're still
we'll start a Patreon.
if you're still listening at this point, comment me wanty Patreon.
I
Comment,
will
"Me
pay
listen."
blank
Comment,
amount of money
"Me
for
will
a
listen-
Patreon.
Me will listen Patreon. I will give you money for Patreon.
Also, send this
Me
to your
wanty
friends.
Patreon a lot.
We're about halfway
Yeah,
through. Send this to
friends
your
would like
buddies.
this. Even if you don't like this, your friends will like this. You've got
Or
friends
they'll
with
never
bad
talk to you
taste.
again.
Could be, but
Text the
fuck
link to
'em, they're
this to your
losers.
friend with the worst taste.
Yeah.
Daniel's
Or
going
your
to
friend,
send it to me.
or your friend that was like a kind of close friend in high school, but you don't really talk to him anymore. Send it to that friend.
Yeah,
Send
or
it to-
send it to
send it to
somebody who you're like,
someone-
I bet this man watches Godzilla movies.
Send it to someone you haven't talked to in 5 years, but you used to be inseparable. Send it to that person.
Ooh, send it to a cousin.
Yeah, send it to your mom.
Send it to a
Like-
cousin who moved away. Like a cousin
Right.
who moved when they got married. And then had a
Yeah.
kid and now won't talk to you suddenly
Send
anymore
it to
because
your
they feel like,
if
oh,
your
I'm too
grandpa's-
good for you? I'm too good for you, Dalton?
If your grandpa's still alive, send it to your grandpa.
If your grandpa's dead, just go to the grave and
Still-
just play
yeah,
it.
Just play it for him. You don't even have to listen. Just leave your phone there and just walk away. Go get a fucking pretzel or
Go
hot
play
dog or
it for
something, you know?
Godzilla. Find him. He's in the depths. He's as real as your
He's
dead
somewhere.
grandpa.
He's curled up in the fetal position. He's sucking on his own tail while he sleeps.
He's sucking on his own teat while he tails.
He's sucking on his own taint while he faints.
Right. Nah, go find Godzilla. Play this for Godzilla. Actually, what I want you to do is I want you to go to the White House, right? And I want you to go to the White House and I want you to get to the gate, right? And you see the gate to the White House?
First, you're gonna need to get a boombox, like stereotypical 80s, 90s type boombox.
Or any Bluetooth speaker will
And
do.
no, specifically a boombox so you can hold it over your head outside of the White House playing the
Well,
podcast.
no, we're going a little deeper than that. Just any Bluetooth
No,
speaker
it's
will
gotta
do
be a
something
boom.
loud. And I want you to get
But
to the
it's
front
gotta
gate
be
of the White
pretty-
House.
it's
And I want
gotta
you
be
to
pretty
look.
big. You have to be able to hold it over your head. That's an important part for me personally.
And I want
you
it
have
to
to
be.
hold it over your
I
head.
want it to be about 8:30 in the afternoon. Okay, it's 8:30 in the afternoon. You're at the White House.
Evening at that point.
8:30 in the evening. Either way, it's always afternoon.
True. I mean, technically, even morning is afternoon.
Right.
It's just
Well,
not the
you know
noon
what I
of
mean.
today.
So you get to the White House. It's about 8:30 in the evening. The president is definitely there. Okay, and I want you to jump the fence. After
He
you've
might be
already
asleep,
connected the
though.
Bluetooth
He's a pretty
speaker.
sleepy. He's a pretty sleepy
Well,
guy.
either
this
way,
current
either
president,
way.
Old Sleepy Joe.
Well, they could be
pretty
watching this in the
sleepy.
future. Either way, I want you to connect the Bluetooth speaker outside of the gate, jump the fence, sprint as fast as you can towards the presidential window. I mean, as fast as you can.
You're gonna want to wear some sort of Kevlar or similar body armor because you will almost definitely
No,
get shot
I
by
think
by
wear
Secret
bright
Service
neon.
agents. Well, you can wear bright
nothing
neon, but
protective.
also have something.
They're
protective.
not going to shoot you. You're just trying to show the president your favorite podcast.
You're going to get shot by the.
You're just
Secret
trying to show the
Service.
president your favorite podcast.
They will shoot you.
Go to the Twin Towers.
What you're gonna want to climb up the Twin Towers like Godzilla and Godzilla Matthew Broderick. Apparently, I've never seen it.
I want you to hijack a plane on September 11th.
Okay. all right.
And fly it into the Pentagon.
But then you won't reach it. They'll actually shoot a missile at you. Anyways,
I want you to
Godzilla-
fly it into Texas somewhere.
Yeah, Godzilla
Don't do
attacks
anything.
Tokyo.
Don't do anything wrong with it. Just land it on an air mat in
yeah.
Texas. You just
Yeah.
wanted the experience of piloting. And it was
Right.
pre
Like,
9/11,
who
so it was
guy?
fine.
Who was that guy that he stole that plane from like an air show just to like kill himself or something? It was
Matthew
very
Broderick,
depressing, but
probably.
also right. And then he drove it to Northern Ireland and killed those two women.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my mic fell. Don't do any of what we
Godzilla's a-
said, by the
No.
way. Just
This
I want to
this
say
podcast
this.
is
This is a
satirical.
bit.
Everything
This is a
we
bit.
say on this podcast is satirical. We do not mean
it.
anything we
Do
say.
it. Do 9/11. Do 9/11. Do 9/11. Do 9/11. Show the semi-pro film show to the President of the United States. Make sure he hears it. If you're listening to
Just
this
so you know,
right
the
now, your
best,
new
the
mission is to
best
show
vantage
this
point-
president, to show Joe Biden the semi-pro film
The
show.
the best vantage point for the White House at the Rockefeller Hotel across the street. Just by the way, just if you were wondering.
So,
no
but
reason
I don't care about
particular.
vantage point. I care about audio. I want Joseph Biden to hear this clip right now.
Oh, it's actually it's Joe Byron.
Joseph Byron. What's
There
his
it is,
name? Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Right, Joseph Brandon. Godzilla's attacking Tokyo. There's a cyberpunk flying car. Earlier, there was a line about how they're just gonna shoot like a bunch of like various types of missiles at him, and also maybe horse tranquilizer.
Well,
Special
Japan
K,
says, and I don't know
ketamine.
how accurate this is, but Japan says they have like a strict no nuke policy.
Yes, but they don't have a no ketamine policy. so
Correct. They shoot
ketamine
Godzilla. They
missiles.
shoot Joe Biden full of ketamine.
Right, I don't think he needs any
They
more,
shoot
but-
the Twin Towers full of ketamine. I've got to stop.
Right.
This is gonna. I'm gonna get put on a watch
Enough
list.
is enough. This episode is gonna get taken down. But so they shoot Godzilla in the mouth with
In the
ketamine
butthole.
missiles. No, it's the mouth. He opens his mouth and he
opens
like
his
catches the
butthole?
missile, and then he.
Every time you say
then-
the word
then
mouth, I
smoke-
just hear the word butthole.
Okay, well you got some issues you need to work out, but that's neither here nor there.
That's between me
So
and Godzilla.
And maybe a therapist. You should go to
And
therapy.
maybe God. Zilla.
Maybe. And maybe also a man that you have gay sex with because you're gay.
But that's you.
Some would say. Others
Some
would
wouldn't, but some would.
gay.
Anyway, Godzilla gets shot in the mouth with ketamine.
He smokes ketamine, which is strange because normally ketamine is like injected or
Yeah.
snorted
Well, they inject it
sometimes
to his
even.
mouth.
Sure, yeah, but then it comes out as smoke. So.
Well, but that's because it was in a missile.
Well, it was payoff for me setting up him smoking
Right.
missiles like a
You put
cigar.
anything in a missile and it's gonna smoke when it comes out of your mouth.
Right, right. Or a cigar.
You put crack rock in a missile, it's gonna smoke when it comes out of my mouth. You know.
You put crack rock in a cigar, it's gonna smoke when it comes out of my mouth.
Right, because you burn it.
Yeah, I mean
Did
that's
you
just what
put
happens
crack
when
rock
you burn
in
it.
my cigar?
No,
I feel like I'm tripping on crack rock.
I wouldn't have done that.
What's the clip
no.
of who's the Western guy, the Western actor? Like
Western down and dead
the
end.
Western
Clint,
actor.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, and he's got the thing of crack, and he goes, "This is crack rock. This is crack rock. Don't
Right,
do
or
it."
the one of or the one
If
of,
somebody
Pee-wee.
asked me if they wanted me to do crack, I'd tell them to get out of town.
Right, or the one of Pee Wee Herman going, "This is crack cocaine."
This is quack. That's how he says it. This is quack.
Right.
Anyway, back to Godzilla, who's doing crack rock.
He's ketamine.
Quack walk. Ketamine.
He's widowy hitting the Gwitty.
He's we hitting a quack walk.
So yeah, this one he's got a cool there's like pus coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
That
there's
was a
pus
cool,
and smoke.
Cool
He's
visual and the
hitting
smoke.
that.
Of
He's
course,
hitting that.
he's smoking that shit.
He's hitting a J.
Yeah, I mean he smoked. Godzilla in this
People
movie
still stay
smokes that
smoking a
shit.
J.
I think so. Yeah, I say it at least.
And you're hip.
Right, I'm hip. I'm with the times. I'm chill like that.
I'm behind the times.
Kids love me.
But I'm more of a post guy, not really a Times man.
Right, like Malone.
You know, New York Times versus New York Post. It was a newspaper
Right.
joke. Back to the podcast.
Like Malone, yeah. You know,
I'm
rapper
not alone.
Times Malone.
I have plenty of people in my life to keep me company.
Do you though?
I have you.
Yeah,
And you're a figment of my imagination, I think.
Right.
I'm still not
or
convinced.
the other way around. I
Right,
don't
we
know.
haven't really determined. Listeners, comment. Who's a figment of whose imagination?
Yeah, yeah.
And also
down
comment,
below.
I want
Also
Patreon,
comment-
I want Patreon, I want Patreon, I want Patreon.
Right. Also comment they paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
They paved Japan and put up a parking pan.
Well, specifically Tokyo. So he smokes ketamine, he gets knocked the fuck out, then the Russians launch a nuke at Japan for some fucking reason.
Because
do
I
we know
think they
why?
think
'Cause they
Japan
think-
is responsible for the submarine.
Yeah, well, they think, they think Japan's
It's a
full
beginning
shit
of
and that
World
they're
War
just-
II situation.
Kind of, yeah. Well, they think Japan is just like helping the U.S. and
But without Ferdinand Magellan.
Is that who it was? I think that was World War One, and it wasn't Magellan. It was Hans.
Hans
Wormhat.
Wormhat?
This
Anyway,
guy
back to
flies.
the
He flies around in a biplane, and shoots me as I run through a field. So the U.S. they shoot a missile to blow up the Russians' nuke in space. Then it makes a nuclear storm directly over Japan. Nuclear lightning hits Godzilla. He is powered by nukes because he's nuclear. He's a nucleus. He's just that guy.
right, which is not on purpose. Come to find out.
No. It just they just wanted to stop the nuke from blowing up.
It was
Japan.
one of those. This movie's
Well, the
ahead
thing
of
is,
its.
America,
This movie's ahead
America
of the time.
was like, America was thinking, they were like, okay, so first Russia's trying to do all this Cold War shit, fucking sending spies to live with us, whatever, and then they're trying to dick ride us by bombing Japan. That's our fucking thing.
That's true.
We nuked Japan.
We did
not
do
those
that.
fucking Ruskies. That's our thing. They
No,
dick riding
this
us.
movie's
So they had
ahead
to
of
put
its
a stop
time.
to
Number
it.
one, it's a requel.
Kind of. Well, yes.
Number
yeah.
two, it's named the same thing as the first movie as a requel.
Maybe sometimes at least.
Number three, the movie ends with the death of its like antagonist or whatever antagonist. But then
Antagonist,
turns out the antagonist isn't. It's like one of those the modern movie thing where the movie ends and then it's like, but the movie's not actually over.
Right. Do they do that in this movie? Do they have like
Yeah,
a
well,
setup for him
Godzilla's
still
like
being alive?
No, there's no.
Like, I know
no,
he-
no,
I know
no, no.
he-
I mean like the movie ends, but then the movie keeps going type thing.
Right.
That's this movie. This movie's ahead of
Well,
its
that's just
ahead of
Godzilla
its
in
time.
general, you know.
Yeah.
No Godzilla movie truly ends.
No Godzilla, really. Just no Godzilla, really.
Yeah, there's no Godzilla.
There is
Well,
no
'cause
Godzilla.
he got blown up in a
Right.
volcano.
There is no
They erupted
Godzilla.
a volcano. Uh, Mount Sinai, maybe. Mount Cyanide, like what's in apple seeds.
Johnny
Right.
from The Room.
Johnny cracked corn. I don't care.
Really? Why'd he do that?
I don't know. I don't fucking care.
Keep going. So Godzilla falls into a volcano?
Well, first he gets nuclear power, and
And then they bird
he
sound
crushes
him.
he crushes the homeless guy. Then they
He does
bird
crush the
sound him to lure him to the volcano where
he
they had
falls
set
into
up.
the volcano.
Yeah, but they set up a bunch of like small little bomb explosions to force
I mean, I feel like bomb
ejaculation.
explosion is kind of like an
Hey,
oxymoron.
shut up, man! I said ejaculation. Comment on that. So they prematurely ejaculate the volcano.
And or Godzilla?
Godzilla
Might.
steps into it, then they blow him up, and then the movie's just fucking over. That's it.
Yeah.
Go Godzilla! Help
So
those people in
the
subway
questions.
trains
Where's
scream my
my-
god
where's
as he
my
looks
phone
in on
at?
them.
I forgot about the questions that we ask at the end.
Well,
of this stupid
history
podcast.
shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man.
Right.
So-
That is the point of
A little bit, yeah.
So the first one is this movie fun? It's the first question. Most of it.
Yeah.
The dubbing is not horrible. There's some
Which
scenes
makes
that are
it
funny.
work. There are a couple funny dubbing lines, but for the most part, the dubbing is fine. It's
well
just
done,
adequate,
which stinks.
which makes it boring. Yeah, it's not. There's no funny
Godzilla
Marlon
looking like
Brando
an idiot
character. That's
is
fun.
good.
That makes it very fun.
The goofy miniatures makes it fun, and then the actual well done action stuff also makes it
Yeah.
fun. So there's a lot of fun in this movie. There's also a lot of boring though.
There's a lot of political Cold War shit
Yeah.
that I just couldn't fucking
I don't
care less
care about the Cold
Yeah.
War. I wasn't around.
Maybe if if I'd been alive during the Cold War, if I'd seen this during the
If
Cold War,
I-
maybe it would have like hit.
I think I said
kind
this
of,
during the
but-
discussion. Had I seen this movie
Yeah.
theatrically when it came out, I think I would have loved this movie.
Right.
But I didn't. So
Well,
I
you didn't have
don't.
you didn't have a frame to reference though.
Right. I don't like frames.
Really? Is that picture of Bruce Campbell Mysterio, is that not in a frame? That signed one that
No,
you made?
it's
That's not in
just
the frame.
stapled to the wall.
It looks like is that just the border on the picture?
Yeah, I just
It looks
drew
like
a
a
square
frame.
on it with a Sharpie.
You drew that yourself. That's a solid.
Which I guess
Solid
would
square,
technically be
yeah.
a frame. Anyway,
Kind of, yeah.
yeah, I think this movie is fun in a really strange way. If you're like, oh, I love Godzilla, and I like
Or
the
if
idea.
you remember the Cold War.
Right.
You remember the Cold War, you'll fuck with this movie. If you were scared of the Cold War,
If you're
gonna rock
okay,
with this
I've got
shit.
this. I've got this. If your favorite James Bond is Timothy Dalton, you're gonna love this
Right.
movie. If not, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
You'll probably like the same parts that we liked.
Yeah, I
which
mean,
was
it,
admittedly probably
most of it.
more than less. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Less is
more to
more.
enjoy in this than not. And we'll get to that at the very end. Does this movie
Hmm.
hold up? No.
Not really. No.
Last week I think did hold up in like a corny B fun
In a
movie kind of way.
funny way, yeah. This one, it's not as much. It's just pretty standard, substandard even. It's just.
If you're trying to full send
But
and
admittedly,
sweep
we
the
have
entire
to-
Godzilla franchise, then this one you'll probably have fun with.
Yeah. We have to also remember this was the first Godzilla movie in 10 years.
Well,
So
not
it was
only
like,
that, but it was the first one in a long time to take itself
to
seriously.
be serious, yeah. So it was almost like uncharted territory for them. It was
Well, it was
almost
a
like
full
breaking new
reboot.
ground.
You know, it was
Yeah,
it was
they were
Casino Royale, right? Casino Royale isn't the best of
Bold
the Daniel
statement,
Craig
but-
Bond movies,
It's
but
one
I
of
take that
the-
back. It's up
it's one
there.
of the- one of
It's
the
up there.
best, yeah.
it's up there. It
I
might be
haven't
the
seen
best.
I haven't seen the last one. So I
It might
can't
be the
really-
best. I mean, no,
I'd
it's
say-
no
I'd say
Skyfall.
I was probably gonna say it's probably second after Skyfall for me, but I haven't seen No Time to
Yeah,
Die.
it's better.
So
Casino Royale's better than No Time to Die. I retract my
cool.
statements. I take back
It's
everything I've
yeah,
said.
it's up there.
This movie sucks.
Good. Yeah.
No, there is some
But
good stuff.
Godzilla smokes that
It's
ketamine, bro. That
enjoyable.
shit's dope.
It's a standard Godzilla movie, and I think last week,
Ve-
after seeing
uh,
such an outlandish and fun Godzilla movie, it really kind of
Yeah.
spoiled us. Had we started with this
Yeah.
one, I feel like it would have been better.
Had we started with Godzilla 56 or 55 and then just watched this,
Yeah,
that would
perfect
have
combo.
that would have been yeah.
If you're looking for a follow up to the first Godzilla movie, I think this one would be great.
Absolutely, yeah.
Last question here. Will you ever watch this again? I don't think I will.
Possibly. Very, very possibly.
I
think
might,
could
but
see
I doubt
myself,
it.
I could see myself down the line watching this, like you said, as like a double feature with the first Godzilla. If ever I rewatch the first Godzilla movie for some reason,
Which
which
why would you when you can watch Astro Monster in 2014?
right, but I might want just to reference a frame or whatever. But
Who are you, Josh? No, I don't see myself ever watching this again. Genuinely, I don't. I think I've seen enough Godzilla movies where I'm gonna watch several more before I watch this one.
well, definitely, yeah. This would have to like I would only actually I take that back. I would probably only watch this if ever I were watching all of the Godzilla movies just like
Which I
every
might
single
do
one,
that
which
at
I
some
which I
point.
could see myself doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after these first two, because I had fun with this, but I
Yeah,
think
even
like
for as much as we're shitting on this, we did have a great time watching
even if
this.
Godzilla was stupid,
Yeah,
I think
and
we're gonna have
the
more fun the
political
next
Cold
2
War
weeks.
stuff was boring.
I think this will be
At
the lowest part
least,
of the
yeah,
sweep.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think last week really ruined us because we had such a great outing.
It was just such the perfect bad movie, and we said that in the discussion. Like that movie was Godzilla vs. Astro Monster is the perfect bad movie.
If you haven't seen that discussion, go ahead and check it out.
If you haven't seen that movie, go ahead and check it out.
Right.
It's streaming
Instead
on
of
Tubi.
this
This
one.
episode brought to you by Tubi. Or
Um,
if you want to be a loser, you can watch this movie. It's on YouTube, not on Tubi.
Right.
Not brought to you by Tubi.
right.
Cringe.
We're gonna
But,
wrap this up though.
Yeah. Tie
Don't
with a bow type
don't watch
shit.
it. Eh,
Or do.
or do.
you.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Send it to your friends. Comment if you would pay
Patreon.
$1 for Patreon.
A dollar make you
Please.
holla. Make us holla.
I need $1. $1 is what I need. Yeah. A little bit, yeah. That's why I pissed before recording. I am gonna have to piss again.